And they become really, really, really sick, like Estonian people are. 20 people a day die because of lifestyle choices, eating, moving, stress management, so on and so forth. 20 people a day in Estonia. And there's just one group of people, because these are the heart disease people, which could be avoided, but
Aloha, my beautiful viewers and listeners on the other side of the screen. My name is Krista Ralaxmi-Ditton, coming to you from beautiful San Diego, California today. I call myself New Time Coach. I believe that each one of us, we have a treasure box inside. And once we start to open it, we will open and start to manifest our inner fairy tales into this reality as our dreams on our terms. Today is a very, very special day here in Abundance in Action podcast, because we have a very special guest, Erik Orgu from Estonia. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
And before we jump in, I would like to introduce Erik, because Erik in Estonia is considered as a celebrity, I would say, in so many ways, has been active for many years. But Erik is a very exciting personality and a person, because he has done many things and also experienced many things and also created many things. So he has actually been in the industry of nutrition and health and also fitness for 18 years, and 7 last years have been focused on nutrition and psychology behind it. He has also been living in England and even was a cook there for some time, and has finished their a beautiful program called Premier Training International Program, and also has a fitness level 3rd from there. In Estonia, he has at the moment 4 companies and has been doing pretty good. As the statistics says, there has been also quite a big profit being produced, so which is really amazing. The clients who are also interested in what Erik is offering, he has a beautiful app, how to live your life without the diet. So you can log in there, and depending on the program, what you choose, which starts from €3 somewhere up to €10 per month. And you can also get some fitness guidance there as well. So the clients are not only from Estonia, but also from European Union, Russia, Australia, New Zealand, Finland, and Norway, and probably by this moment as we record, also many others. So he's also very active in social media. For some of the platforms I can mention, in Facebook, he has 41,000 followers, Instagram 19,900 followers, and YouTube 836 followers. Which for Estonia is also quite many and big numbers. So, and one of the passion areas has been food and nutrition for the last years, and especially for young people and children, which I also personally think is very, very important. And also, he has one of the few ones who has actually developed a scientifically proven and also approved a nutrition plan, which has been through a program in Center of Food and Fermentation Technologies in Estonia, which has been proven to influence the digestive health, lessens the bad bacteria connected to diabetes or overweight. So it's also saying that Erik's nutrition and meal plan is full of minerals and nutrition. So this has been actually said by Catherine Koru, who I actually also personally know. So it's kind of funny things one can find out. So welcome, Erik. This has been quite a journey, and right now you are expanding your businesses to the global scale. And as you are doing this, what is your first step of focus or passion when you are doing this global expansion with your businesses?
Wow, that was quite an introduction. I started thinking about many things you said there, but to answer your question is my drive has always been and probably always will be to try and do something new, to bring something new to the market and try to benefit people who I haven't reached yet, and not just talking about people who are struggling with their body weight, but people who are struggling with their health. And it's been said that a famous Greek philosopher, Hippocrates, said, "Let food be thy medicine," but this is not actually the case. He has never said that, although it's been used widely. And that's my thing. I like to be very thorough with my things, and base everything on facts and research myself. And but although he hasn't said that, I believe this is the case, that a person should let food be their first line of defense or line of help if it has something to do with their health, the problem they're experiencing, whatever it may be.
Yeah, and I so agree, because right now, as I've been living in United States for a while, and I've been following lots of different nutrition and fitness guides and gurus here, and also the numbers, especially here in United States with diabetes and overweight, are really crazy. And in one of your interviews, you also mentioned that in Estonia, it's over 50% of people are already like having the similar issues. And myself, I just recently went through a program in Hawaii, which one really beautiful person, trunk trainers in Kona, created, which was a 6 weeks program where we were following a special menu, also a special fitness program, group training 3 times a week. And then also we had a coach who was going through our things, if our weight was stopping and so on. And as I finished this 6 weeks, I realized so many different things I did wrong, even though I was already pretty healthy and did many healthy things and took really pretty good care of myself compared to maybe most people. I realized there were so many things I still did wrong. And one of them was that my food portions were really out of whack and out of balance. And also when and how I ate was really out of balance. And also my training, I didn't do smart training. I was training like overtraining. And then also I didn't do, like, it wasn't diverse enough and so on. So as I went through this 6 weeks program, after I came through that, it became my natural way of being, like my new lifestyle. I couldn't go back to the old way anymore. And as I continued it, so last year I lost altogether 15 kilograms, and I went through 30 pounds or something. So, and I continued this. And as in this process, I didn't force it on my husband, but my husband started to also try out some. And suddenly I found him one morning doing crunches on the floor, so you have the influence. So what do you say, as you have been now working with so many people with those issues, where should one start? Like if you figure out like, okay, I've been really off track with my health and nutrition and with fitness and so on, where should someone start? And what would those maybe 3 first steps be?
Well, it depends where the problem lies. Most cases, believe it or not, is just a matter of starting. This is the first thing a person must do. No wishing, no whining, no hoping, just start taking action. That would be the first thing, because many people think they take action towards the solution, but they're not actually doing. If you have like a smoothie instead of diet soft drink or something like that, this is not what I would call a start. I would call a start putting some serious effort in. So people should definitely make this decision in their mind, then next they need a plan of action, because otherwise, what you're going to do, And third, what they need is they need a goal, attainable goal. So this is all basically psychological. Everything is air. No need to do crunches. No need to chop some vegetables or whatever. It's basically just all in there. But this is the biggest obstacle for people in their head. Nothing, they don't do anything because they don't do the work in their head. They just pick up their phone or whatever and do other stuff. They only start paying attention when it's quite late already. And of course, I'm not talking about all the people at this moment. I'm talking about the people who are yet to do anything about solving their problem. Because many people are. In Estonia, over 12,000 people use my meal plan app. And, obviously I'm not talking about them. They've started. So, it's good. But then again, we got 1.3 million people who are not doing anything. So,
And one of the things I personally felt is very important is that consistency. So if you add to everything what you mentioned here, consistency, then it turns into that lifestyle. And I think, as I have understood, one of the message you really try to convey with your meal plan is that, once you get that consistency and start to also be creative and playful, then it becomes your second nature.
Pretty much, yeah. I think for me, it's actually it's becoming clearer, but it's still quite difficult to understand how it is that people don't understand that good nutrition is as important as reading or overall eating or moving, so I just don't get it. I mean, everybody puts gas in their car and everybody freaks out when they put diesel in a gas engine or whatever. But when a person puts tons of junk food in their body, which is fuel, it's supposed to be fuel, I don't get it. And then they freak, and then they put the wrong something somewhere in a machine, and then there's like, oh my God, they get nervous, they get all the negative thoughts, but regards to their body, they don't care. I don't know. Yeah.
So I personally have been part of your meal plan now for a year. So I have followed it, even though I'm here in San Diego. And one of the good things which I really enjoy about it is that I come from the background where I grew up with my grandmother, who never actually let me cook or even try to cook. And then, of course, as I grew up in a Soviet Estonia, we had also shortage of many, food items and so on. So it was a very simple diet, so to say, what we had that time. But later in life, I started to hate food, and I had like really weird connection. And I also didn't like to cook because it felt so complicated, and then I also had some food issues and nutrition issues and so on. So now, as I started to play with your diet plan, I was so amazed how colorful it was, how delicious it was, and also the way you have set it up. You have basically 3 meals, and then you have this one snack, which is usually something healthy, sweet stuff. Sweet means like using honey and like different things which are okay. So what do you say now to people who come from that background as me? What would your first suggestions to be? Like if you have felt like awkward with food, or you have been hating to cook, and all of these obstacles, like I just can't, like how to do those like first steps to overcome those issues?
Well, firstly, if it's in the past, just let it stay there. You don't have to bring like the exercise we did in the beginning. I suggest that maybe you tell people how to kind of, when they're breathing in and breathing out, what they should be thinking about. So if it's in the past, all the things you said, then just leave it there. Make a reset, push the reset button, and just start again. Make a new connection with food, and now is present, and see what's in the future. Just let the past go. You don't have to think about all these bad things that happened regarding food or whatever. It's people say this to me as well, and I've been used to, somebody taught me to eat this or that way or that much, and I was doing it for 20 years, and then I say to that, okay, fine, you did it for 20 years, okay, obviously it's not benefiting you, stop that and start with the new thing, and just leave it. It may be a bit hard to let go, but you have to be conscious of it. So you have to be thinking about it, that I need to let it go. I need to, push the reset and, go again, restart the food journey.
Mm-hmm. What really has helped me, it's actually turned into this playful experience. And I almost feel like, as I work a lot with the inner archetypes of the inner man, inner woman, inner child, I felt like my inner child was really having fun, because now she was allowed to, so to say, like play with the food. So different colors and different items I could put together, and then these beautiful things came out, like sweet potato pancakes. I had no idea that such a thing could be a thing, or that's a healthy thing, and you can put even like sour cream on it. Like some of the things which you have in your diet plan, like I had cut completely out. I didn't have any of those small portions, but I didn't even have small portions of those things. And when I included them again, not only didn't I feel better, but also it was more fun, because now, even though it was small portions, I could still, have those tastes or things which I really enjoyed. And you have also talked a lot about this. You try to invite people into this new lifestyle instead of them to suffer. And I don't think in Estonian we have a word we use, piinama, you suffer so much, like you go into it with the grit mentality, and then it actually oftentimes comes out it's not a sustainable way to go. So what do you say to people who kind of hit that roadblock? They go into it and they feel they suffer. Like how can they turn that around?
So I have to understand correctly. What do you mean? They go into it suffering, and how is that exactly stopping them? Or
yeah, so if someone is used to eating garbage and eating really bad food, and then
junk
they start
food,
to and if they start to follow your guidance, so you have very specific portion sizes.
Okay.
So myself also, I didn't have the food scale before, so I had to buy the food scale. And first, when I was scaling the food and weighing it, I was amazed, because it seemed like it wasn't much food, and I was like, I'm never going to get full of it. Like, I'm not going to feel okay. But the experience, of course, was that I felt okay. But then there were also those dependencies of those things, I like potato chips or crunchy things. And then it was really hard to keep myself away from it. Or you have shared your story about ketchup, there's certain things which it's a little hard to get away from them, and then it feels like suffering. It probably is not really like suffering, but that transition, getting into that good habit of having certain times of the day eating the healthy food, what would you say?
Well, to a person who's really suffering, I would say that, you know, as the saying tells you, if they're like really suffering, you know, one might say that they feel like they're in hell. So somebody said, and I believe it was Winston Churchill, so the UK Prime Minister. So he said, if you're going through hell, keep going, you know, and eventually, you know, you will get through this. And the closer a person gets to the, how do I say this now, to the end, you know, whether it's somebody who's suffering because, you know, they miss their chocolates and candies and chips and all that junk food. So, or a person who's just a few kilos or few percentages away from their ideal body, to get to that point when you don't miss junk food, to get to that point when you have your six pack, for example, just the last maybe days or weeks or sometimes even months are the hardest. But if a person keeps going, they will get there, as long as they're doing the right thing. And when somebody uses my meal plan, and I've had many questions about this, when people say like, oh, my kids, my husband, my schedule, my blah, blah, whatever, you know. So basically all these are just excuses. And then I just remind them, think about the reason why are you doing this? And then they're like, well, yeah, I want to lose 20 kilos, or I want to get rid of my bad skin rash, or whatever they say, whatever the reason may be. And then I say to them, okay, so you quit now and you keep being 20 kilos overweight, avoiding every mirror you see, you know, every photograph you're in the back, so on and so forth. You want to go back there? And then they're like, no. And then they keep going until it becomes a new habit. Old habit was eating junk food, weighing 20 kilos. New habit is eating healthy and weighing 20 kilos less. Simple.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple, but it's not easy. Simple and easy are two different things. People think, they get confused. Oh, I'm going to start a meal plan. Super easy. No. Super simple. It's different. I tell people, it's simple what you have to do, but it's not easy to do it. You know, but you know, in the beginning, every beginning is hard. You start learning a new language, taking on a new hobby, whatever it may be. You think first steps are going to be easy? No. If it doesn't come naturally to you, and I don't know to who comes naturally, weighing their food, preparing their food many times, not eating everything around you, all the temptations, not giving in, is not easy for anybody. People think that it's easy for me. No, it's not easy for me. You know, maybe we're about to talk about this incident that happened in Estonia. So I do have my moments, you know. So if you're going through hell, keep going, and you know, you will get through it. That's my message.
Yeah, it is that consistency. And as I said, from my own experience, and I think many of your clients have had the similar experience, once it becomes your new normal, you can't go back, because even now when
Yes, you can. I've had you talking about 6-week program in my TV shows, which I've done. I've been with people for 6 to 9 months, and there's nothing unnatural or extreme what they're doing there. They're just doing what is right, and then they lose 20 kilos, 24 kilos. Some even lost 50. One guy even lost 62 kilos in 9 months. 62 kilos. And guess what he looks like right now? I saw him a few months ago.
It's the same.
Yes. No, as in the same he was before I started working with him. So to that, what I say, and actually after that TV show ended, he was in shape and actually got into a better shape the next couple of years, I think. So all in all, almost 3 years, 3 years, and boom, put another 3 years on top of that. I believe he gained it much quicker than 3 years. So I think it all happened in a space of maybe a year and a half, I would say. It comes back pretty quickly.
Yeah, so it's in a way it is. I understand it's a relapse situation. It's like with anything else, like drugs or alcohol, similar dynamics. What I wanted to say about my own experience is that when now it has become my new normal, is like if I have an overdo with something, then I will notice the difference the next day. Like if I overdo sugar too much, then I notice artificial sugar, then I notice the next day I'm like having a hangover. Then my body already knows like this is no good, and then I don't do it that way anymore. So of course people are all different, but this is one of my experiences, what I've experienced, that once you get that experience and it becomes the new normal, it is possible that you stick to it. But of course every person is different, so yeah.
Actually, most people go back to it's. I would. It's not easy to say. It's not pleasant to say, but most people keep basically. They don't yo-yo diet, but their weight keeps yo-yoing because they lose, they gain, but. And I'm talking big numbers. I'm talking 10 kilos plus change in people. So if somebody fluctuates within up to 5 kilos of their body weight, going up and down, that person is actually in a pretty good shape. No, not pretty good, but in a good shape, But most people, women, men more, women about 20 kilos overweight, men roughly 30 kilos overweight. Then they lose up to 10 kilos or so, and then boom, it goes back up again until years pile on, and they become really, really, really sick, like Estonian people are. 20 people a day die because of lifestyle choices, eating, moving, stress management, so on and so forth. 20 people a day in Estonia. And there's just one group of people, because these are the heart disease people, which could be avoided. But yeah, it is what it is. 20 people a day.
Very, very sad. So you mentioned about habits, and I've been also researching and experimenting with lots of different habits. And scientifically, I think in several places it's been said the 66 days, I think they say, is like the minimum to reset or get the new habit going. What's your experience with that? And what are the tips you would say people, once they get into this new habit of movement and also nutrition plans, what would keep them there?
There's
what can
no
they
magic.
do?
There's no magical timeline or scientific timeline. A person, there's no minimum, there's no maximum. There's just, you have to do it, and that's it. As long as you want to stay healthy, stay fit, be in a healthy weight or even a good body weight, you have to track your calories. You have to make sure, if you don't want these sugar hangovers, you can't eat sugar. That's it, or can't eat that much sugar. So a person has to determine what they're doing and what it's producing, and there's nothing. I mean, science, it may apply, the study. I've heard it as well, although I don't know. I mean, I never just, if I want something to be a part of my life, maybe in that time I will realize that, okay, I've done this now for 66 days and I want to keep doing it. But otherwise, I don't think it's going to just like by some magic stick once it hits 66 days. If it was that, I think almost every person can pull themselves together for 66 days and achieve the dream life. So that 66, I would have to do some research on it to know exactly what it is. It may apply to easier tasks in life. It may apply, or maybe not apply, but maybe something literally happens in the brain. But otherwise, You just have to keep doing it. Forget about the 66. Might as well be 6,666 because, that kind of comes closer to the days that is necessary to do something to have a very good productive life during these days.
Mm-hmm. Now you mentioned one really important thing, which I have also personally been connected to, and many of my clients also struggle with it and figured out that can be the key. You said that if someone wants to lose weight or change their lifestyle, they have to figure out why. And I have been following also Dean Graziosi. I don't know if you know much of his stuff, but he said one of the reasons why he is working out so much and doing what he's doing and eating what he's eating is because he wants to be there for his grandkids. So he wants to be healthy, be able to have fun with them and be there for them and physically in good shape. So this is his why. So what would you say about that? And do you have maybe some suggestions if people are lost, like, I don't know what my why is? Like you may say that, okay, more years to live, but it doesn't connect to them. So
I say to that person that this is BS. If they say they don't know, and what I tell these people, when they say that they don't know, then I tell them it's fine that you say that because you're scared or you're not brave enough. Depending on a person, I might choose my words differently, how I express that a person basically is a coward because they cannot say it out loud. Why? Because somebody might want to be in a better shape to get a partner for themselves, and they're so scared to say it out loud because of self-confidence and shame, which actually is a big part of why people don't do many things, including healthy eating. They're ashamed because sometimes it requires to make, not sometimes, but most times, it requires to take different action from other people. Sometimes and that can mean ordering a different thing when you go out to eat, maybe not ordering something, maybe not drinking, maybe bringing your own food. And people don't do that because they feel shame or they're scared. And the reason why, everybody knows that. And I have a way of getting that information out of a person. First, I let them I let them to tell why to themselves in their head. And after 5, maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, I'm going to come back to that why, because I know that person has said it. I'm going to make them feel comfortable, and then they say it out loud. And then I get the reason. And the reasons usually are pretty much the same. They're not so much different. So a person always has to have that why in their head, but it's very difficult to say it out loud, even looking in the mirror, let alone talking to you, talking to me. It just takes some time. They have to say it in their head. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. But they're scared or they're ashamed to say it to another person, and sometimes even to themselves.
What are some of the whys you have experienced people have shared with you?
Why they want to get into better shape?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's appearances mostly. And these are the people who have because when a person comes to me and they have a reason like spending time with their grandchildren, when a person says, or their children, or somebody has a health issue, then there's no problem because they're scared of the problem more than they're scared to say it. But people who say that they don't know, they know, and mostly it's vanity, mostly. And it's not a bad thing. Why shouldn't we look good and feel good? Why not? But good can be normal nowadays. Even if a person doesn't have stomach hanging over their belt or skirt or whatever, or their arms are nice and thin. That's rare nowadays, So, but that's normal. And normal, how often do you see these days? Not so often. Look at what's going on in the world. When somebody says something, it's just like, yeah, this is not normal. But it's getting so much attention. So it's the same way what happens with people and their bodies. It's vanity is number one reason taking out children, grandchildren, and health issues. Most people, it's vanity. They're like, my friends are pretty and I'm fat. This is what it is. And they feel shame, and that's why they don't start, because they're feeling something else. They're not feeling that excitement, I'm going to get in shape. They're feeling shame, and that feeling that I want to get in shape, and this is shame, and it's coming from here, and shame is blocking that signal to get here. So to activate this, it's such a crazy way that all this works. Maybe some people even don't understand this right now, but this is why I have like this incredible success with people who I work one-to-one with, because I know what they don't know about themselves, and I get them to, open up and then start doing the things that, for example, start feeling excited about weight loss. I get rid of the shame or the fear. I get rid of this, and then, the journey can continue to this excitement feeling. Oh yes, I get to do all these meals. I get to bring my own food. I get to go and exercise. And then later, in a month or 2 months or 6 months, I get to look great, So all of this is blocked by negative feelings, negative thoughts. And what I do is I eliminate that negativity and show them the positivity. But once I leave, they can't handle themselves, because this, what I'm telling right now, should be taught to a person at quite an early stage of their life, as in a young age, because later, they become dependent. They get all these other feelings and different patterns in their mind, and it's very hard to change somebody. They say 66 days. I haven't been able to change them in 6 months, because when I leave, from this to this, the person goes, so yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned now the importance of children, and can you also elaborate a little more? Why do you think this is so important, and why this has been one of your passion projects in Estonia?
Because I see all these unhappy, unhealthy adults in my work. There's nothing awesome about my work in a way. The only awesome thing is I get to create and I get to help people. But every person who comes in, nobody comes in and says something positive. In the beginning, every person who comes in, they have a problem. They have a worry, and there's something wrong. It's like I'm like a doctor, basically. I solve problems, It's 90% of the time it's problems. And then are these success stories when somebody just writes to me on a random day and says, hey, Erik, I've been on your program for so and so long, and I have these results. Here you go. These are the pictures. My life has completely changed. And this is the ray of light, what I get, and this is, this is the way it is. Yeah.
So how do you recommend adults who are parents right now to start to influence the way children think about food or connect to food, eat? What can they do? Like 3 simple steps. What can they do?
There's no. Okay, I'll give you 3. First thing, and this is the most important thing, and I would like to actually stay with this one, because this is almost enough. They have to be an example, because kids are in a stage, young people are in a stage where they're learning. And if they're learning,
so the
they
parents
have to be an example. Of course,
the parents have to be examples.
Of course, this is so common knowledge. I mean, I've had parents come to me with their children and like saying, like, my help me, my child is overweight, and I'm like, well, do you want some help as well, because you're overweight as well? You know, it's like, yeah, no, it's no, he needs help. I was like, no, because he's overweight because you're overweight, basically. You know, so this is a big reason. No, something's wrong in the school. And then I ask, so what do you eat at home and what do you have at home? Well, I have and I'm like, well, how don't you see this? So first thing for parents is they have to set an example, you know, and to be a role model and so on and so forth. Secondly, obviously, these parents need to eat right. And I would say the third thing a parent should practice with their kids is, activity as well. So just a parent has the first thing they have to do is realize and be the example to their kids. Secondly, they have to obviously do the right thing, because sometimes I've seen when accountants or whatever profession a person may have start to act and like a nutritionist. And I'm like, no, Jesus, please don't do that, because you will distance your child from healthy food even further. And sometimes, kids tell me that. So the second thing is, basically, I wanted to say is when they start doing it, they have to make sure they're doing the right thing to their children, which means tasty food in a right amount of food, and so on and so forth. And when the parents start acting like nutritionists, and they're not, it actually goes pretty wrong, because even a nutritionist, I think, should be able to put together some delicious recipes. And what I've seen is sometimes a parent tells me like what they have their kids eating, and I think to myself, I wouldn't eat that. And then I asked the son or daughter to come step away with me a few steps, and then I was like, "Do you like what mommy and daddy are cooking at home?" And they're like, "No, it's disgusting." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I mean, I have to agree. I have to agree. Yes, I wouldn't eat that as well." And then I just go back to them and they say, like, "Listen, just take my meal plan. You both together pick some food that the kid likes and you likes, and eat that, because that's done by a professional." And yeah, that's what parents have to do.
And activity, you mean then physical activity they could do as examples,
even
or
walking.
Together? Yeah.
Yes, even walking doesn't have to be like some hardcore sports or anything like that. Even just walking with their children, maybe playing a game, in order to even establish a mental connection as well. Trust and having fun together, liking each other. So even in that, in mental ways, it's necessary, and physical, obviously, as well. And doing simple things. It doesn't have to be like hardcore sports, like I said. Just normal.
So now, to sum this nutrition and health part kind of together here, if we have now someone watching this show and is like, okay, I should probably change some things, and what would be like the, so to say, minimum things they could do from your experience, health-wise and movement-wise? So I've heard all these crazy things people say, at least 10,000 steps a day, and you have to eat that many times and this way and so on. You have to eat every other hour, what you see, like the minimum, so that they get going.
Mm-hmm. Well, if somebody wants to, start moving, I'm going to stick with the 10,000 steps a day as well, because that's close to 10 kilometers. And I think it's a decent distance to walk, and it takes decent amount of time, and it's normal to move that much. If somebody wants to start eating healthy, the minimum what they should do is eat right in the beginning 50% of the time, which means if if, for example, a person eats 3 times a day, which is 21 meals a week, they should be eating at least 11 times healthy, at least 11 times. The more, the better. So this is the minimum regards to eating. And obviously, sleep is very important as well. A person should establish with, walking, with eating at least 50% of their time correctly, healthy. They should establish a healthy sleep pattern as well. But for all of these things to work, a person needs to prioritize. And I don't know why some people have their health or their body in the back of priorities list. I'm like, I don't get it. Because okay, let's not put body there. Let's put healthy weight. Let's put normal, good well-being, like as in every day-to-day life. Not having these sugar hangovers and so on and so forth. And yeah, a person should prioritize. So I said 3 things: eating, moving, and sleeping. But that requires some serious, reorganizing of a person's activities, because we want to stay up late because nighttime is fun. We want to eat unhealthy food because it's been marketed to us, or it's really, really tasty. I'm not saying unhealthy food doesn't taste good. It tastes great sometimes. And in regards to moving, it's, I don't, I'm not going to take my car today. I'm just going to walk, but maybe it's raining, buy a treadmill. No, it's too expensive. I need a handbag. I need a mobile phone. I need a laptop. I need a tablet. I need to go out with my friends. So all these 3 things, to get them right, a person has to make some serious changes to their life, to have their moving schedule, eating schedule, and sleeping schedule in a good place. It's not that easy.
Yeah, talking about sleeping, what's your take on sleeping? What's the maximum minimum here?
Every person should sleep as much as they feel that is enough for them. I don't, I think a person should be able to sleep whenever a person wants to sleep, even during daytime. We get tired, we drink coffee, we drink energy drinks, and we keep going. And then we wonder, why are we, suffering? Why is our health bad? Our thoughts are negative. All of these things, when you interrupt something as important as sleep. I've lived my life. I mean, I've scheduled my life in a way that when I know that I want to sleep during the day, or as long as I want in the morning, or as long as I want, as early as I want to go to bed in the evening, I can do that because this is essential for me. When I can't imagine living a life or doing something or being somewhere when in the middle of the day I want to sleep. I feel that I need to sleep and I can't. It's the same as I feel that I need to eat, but I can't. Or I feel I need to train, but I can't. I can put up with this maybe a week. That's it, though.
Yeah, sleeping and insomnia is a really big new issue here in United States. I've also done some research. They have actually started to offer sleep therapy even in hotels, where I was working also in Mexico. That was like one of the most popular services in the spa, sleep therapy. Can you imagine?
What is it?
So basically, people who have issues to fall asleep, so they did different. Some did hypnotherapy, and some went through like what they were doing in their life, like you said, what they were drinking, what they were eating, how their schedule was, what they can change there. So it was like several things. But it's like a new popular thing. So where can people find more information about you?
Probably the easiest would be Facebook, because I believe everybody has a Facebook. So there they can just go to my official page, and if they just type in my name, Erik Orgu, just take that account where where it has over 40,000 likes. So that would be the right one. Mm-hmm. And through there, a person can contact me and or leave a comment there, up to them. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that would be the easiest.
And I saw that your meal plan is also possible to be opened up in English, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
for that it's very easy. If a person goes to erikorgu, so erikorgu.ee, not EU or nothing else, but EE, or just do a Google search on me and it will come up as well. Just my name, mm-hmm. and that's it.
Yeah. So there are no limitations. Expansion, here we come. Erik Orgu to the world.
Like I said, I'm trying many things, but I think in a year or two we would have some interesting topics to discuss, because I keep pushing and developing myself and my app, and we'll see where it goes. But I have many interesting projects starting right now, so we'll see. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
So we talked also about a little gift for our listeners and watchers.
Mm-hmm.
So we will set it up, and then do you want to say anything else about it?
I just want to say, basically, it's going to be my meal plan, and I want people to give it a try. Just try it out and see what happens. Good things will happen. I can tell that much, but just give it a go. Try something different, and you will get different results as well. Mm-hmm. Good, I think. I know. Yeah.
So thank you, Erik, so much for your time and dedication to everything what you do, and also that you were here today to share your story with the world. It was such a pleasure and honor to work with you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And as we had quite a long conversation, it's probably going to be 2 different episodes. So when you see the first part, you will be very excited to see the second part. So just check it all out. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and if there is anything you would like to do to support our podcast, let us know as well. Thank you so much, and all the best, and eat healthy.
Bye.
Mahalo. Bye.